Welcome to the stream. The silence at the beginning is always so well timed, and the pause between music tracks is so long. It's honestly unbearable sometimes. But that's just how things go. Dizziness be gone! No Jutsu version 2.0. Today, Navia be not gone, no Jutsu. We are finally playing her story quest. It's been about time. Who? No. Damn it. Really? Well, we have something to do after our Navia story quest. I didn't expect that to pop up. That... I guess there is an addition to last time story if you wait a bit. I have played in between last time and this time, so how I did not trigger this, I do not understand. Maybe it has to be a different time of day. It's almost really like something terrible must happen for me to not play Navia's story. But no. First Navia, then other things. Let's brave these tides together. Rosa Multiflora, Act 1. Navigate. I expected it to start in Poison, which is why I had teleported here, but no, it's in the underground thingy. One day, you are stopped by a familiar voice while in the court of Fontaine. It's not in the underground thingy. It's just exactly above the underground thingy.
Well, if it isn't my dear partners.
That voice! It's Navia!
I didn't expect to run into you guys here today. Are you headed somewhere?
Yeah, there is that different quest. But I'm just getting our daily dose of adventuring in.
How about you, Navia? Are you still busy rebuilding Poisson?
We've wrapped up most of the rebuilding, but there are still a few things left to take care of. Stocking up on materials, confirming construction timelines, discussing compensation terms with families affected by the disaster. Between all of that, I've been making a lot of trips between the court and Poisson.
Wasn't Spina di Rosula affected too? Should you really be the ones offering compensation?
Well, though the victims have received relief payments from the court, in my opinion, as the administrators of Poisson, Spina di Rosula should take some responsibility as well. Our financial situation right now isn't the best, so all we've been doing is signing agreements for the damages to be repaid at a later date. Though just pieces of paper now, they demonstrate our commitment. They're necessary to restore the people's faith in us.
Oh, spoken like a true president. You're a really responsible leader. That must be taking up most of your time though, right?
Oh, you bet. Between that and all the other errands I have to run at the court, I'm always forgetting one thing or another. So before I came over this time, I took a page from Melusa's book and decided to make a list of everything. This way, it's easy to see which tasks you haven't checked off.
And then...
And then, since Melus loved using shorthand, I decided to also follow his example and come up with some shorthand of my own. But after running a few errands in the city, I'm kind of struggling to even read my own handwriting anymore.
That does sound like you, alright. So what kind of shorthand did you use?
Paimon-sized ones.
Oh, wanna take a look?
Let Paimon see! Wait, there's nothing here but a bunch of weird symbols. This looks like a piece of kelp wrapped around a stick. And this other one, is it supposed to be a boar in a box?
The first one has to do with confirming the final payment amount for the fishermen, while the second one is a reminder to try the new burger that just hit the market.
Okay, Paimon can definitely see how you might forget what each of these mean.
Maybe just use standardized shorthand symbols next time? Or just write out each item next time?
Thank you for your advice. These are the kinds of things you only really figure out once you've tried them out yourself. I thought that as long as I understood my shorthand when I came up with it, I'd be sure to remember the symbols when I looked at them later. Unfortunately, I've definitely proven myself wrong.
Well, now you know for next time.
Anyway, I should have already taken care of most of the things on the list. There are still a few symbols that I can't decipher, but I don't think they're anything too super important.
I don't think you can just say something like that.
Worst comes to worst, I'll just make another trip.
Ah, so you're going to head back now?
Yep, that's the plan. Oh, actually, since we talked about the reconstruction earlier, wanna come with me and check out the town for yourself?
I see, I was a bit too early going to Poisson, but we're going to Poisson.
You said you don't have any plans, right? So we can just catch a boat and head over. It won't take long at all.
I can also just teleport.
It's a bit sudden, but Paimon doesn't see why not. What do you think, Traveler?
It'd be interesting, and I'd be interested in taking a look.
Then let's go. We'll take a boat over.
Oh, you mean the Aquabus, right? Like the Clementine line?
Oh, sorry. I meant our own boat. The Aquabus doesn't have a station near Poisson, so we'll use one of the Spina's boats.
Sure, sounds good to me. It's not like I have different quests.
All right, follow me. I'll take you there.
I don't think quests that, or choices that take me to places immediately were highlighted before. Boat!
The engineer is still doing a few routine safety checks. We can head out as soon as we get the green light.
I can also just teleport.
So, Paimon has always wanted to ask. The 3 Aquabus lines are all named after people in your family, right?
Yeah, that's right. Callus and Navia are self-explanatory, while Clementine was the name that my mother went by.
Spina di Rosula was one of the main sponsors for the construction, right?
If you provided the Mora to build the lines, then why isn't there even a dedicated line to Poisson? Spina di Rosula built all the lines, yet you still have to take a special boat just to go home. Paimon doesn't get it.
Well, what I heard is that most of our businesses don't actually use Poisson as a hub, so there was no real reason to build a line straight to Poisson. You are right that it is a bit strange, though. If you've already committed to build 3 lines, why not just add a 4th?
Also, one of the lines goes by really close to Poisson, so why not just build a station there?
Yeah, that's what Paimon's saying. The Aquabus is so convenient, it's really a huge shame.
Well, it is what it is. You know what my father was like. Even I often struggled to figure out what was going on in his head.
Perhaps the rest of the Spina didn't see a point to having a fourth line.
But that would only be the case if he cared about what others thought. My father was always really stubborn. Once he made up his mind, good luck getting him to change it. From what I've heard, the rights of all the other members of the Spina only went as far as giving him advice or suggestions, and no farther. That included my mother, too.
Huh. Well, that explains why you weren't on the greatest of terms with him.
Yeah, because I wouldn't just let him keep getting his way. He was just... not very agreeable.
Boss, the boat's ready. We can head out.
All right, then let's head out.
Yarr! And now we brave the tides together. The rest of the quest is on this boat.
It'll be a while before we get to Poisson. Let's keep talking.
Let's just follow this line.
Navia, what was your mother like as a person?
Also more auto text.
Oh, Paimon, sorry. She totally forgot that you mentioned before that she passed away during childbirth, so you probably don't remember her at all.
Slow auto text.
That's all right. I've heard many stories about her from the rest of the Spina. They've always said that they were sure we would have gotten along famously.
That's not auto
While my
text.
papa was stiff like a board, my mother was supposedly super cheerful and funny. Their complementary personalities allowed them to make up for each other's flaws. My father would run the businesses and expand our reach, while my mother would keep the peace and make sure that everyone was happy. Their work made sure that the Spina could grow and thrive.
Sounds like they were not just a well-matched couple, but fantastic business partners as well.
Yeah, but those are just stories and anecdotes after all. It's hard for me to piece together a more complete or intimate picture of her. But sometimes I'd still look at the Clementine line and wonder, would the Spina and Poisson still be what they are today had my mother survived? Silver once said that a name is a kind of inscription, a way to etch a memory into the world. When given a name, a cold, inanimate object can gain a completely new meaning. So, I will always associate the line with her in my heart. Over the past few weeks, I've also begun to appreciate how water can take in and hold our most intense feelings and memories, as well as how one may reflect on their past by watching the sea. I've lost many beloved people and memories to the sea. Even though I cannot stop for them and must continue to keep moving, the fact won't change that they existed in my life and gave me the reason and motivation to move forward.
Missing Malus and Silva.
Of course, I still haven't really gotten used to a life without them.
At least you have your sunglasses.
But I tell myself that I need to keep looking towards the future. Everyone, even my parents, have already overcome so many obstacles. Besides, I'm the president of Spina di Rosula. I've got to keep my chin up.
I don't know if her sunglasses are actually Silva sunglasses or if they are just her
We've
own.
reached the shore. Let's go. I'll show you the new Poisson.
I'm assuming it looks the same as the old Poisson.
Navia, do you think she's doing all right?
She's always been having to cope with one thing or another.
Okay, Paimon supposes you're right. She's really been through a lot. It couldn't have been easy shouldering so much by herself.
Like, that is... Here's Poisson, and here is one of the lines. Just make a stop right here. You're even going through a mountain. You can build it in the mountain or something. I'm sure it would have been possible. Especially because both the other lines didn't take much work anyways, in terms of length compared to this one. So a stop in the middle wouldn't be that bad. Just criticizing your French construction techniques. Local Greens are against it. Hilly Charles. Navia, your new Poisson looks really a lot like the old Poisson. So, good job rebuilding it in the spirit of the previous one, I guess.
Boss, you're back! Traveler in Paimon, welcome back to Poisson.
Oh, hey! Fancy seeing you again, Florent. Is it your turn to take care of Navia now?
Hey, I can totally take care of myself. For the time being, I'll go around without any attendance. We did hand over some of Malus's old responsibilities to Florent, though. It's been really nice to have him around to help out.
We can be your attendants. I can attend. Paimon is also there.
Thank you for the compliment, boss. As you see, I've been working closely with the boss on rebuilding Poisson. Mr. Malus was an extremely capable and respected member of the Spina. I've got some really big shoes to fill.
All right. There's no need to be so formal. Everyone's practically old friends by now. Were you waiting here for me? Did we manage to make any progress on the statue?
Statue?
Yeah, we contacted a sculptor about the job, but they can't get started on sourcing a correctly sized block without knowing the design that we want to use first.
You're commissioning a statue?
So basically, we've been meaning to commission a statue of my parents in commemoration of everything they've done for the Spina and the town of Poisson.
That's the most important part of the reconstruction.
But since my father was known as Callus the Unfaithful for the longest time, it would have been too controversial to commission a statue of him. But now that his name has been cleared, and the town is also being rebuilt, I thought this would be the perfect chance to actually realize this dream.
The funds to build the statue were freely donated by the people of Poisson to show their appreciation for Miss Clementine and Mr. Callus and everything they did.
Shouldn't Navia be featured with them too? Or without them?
Me? I'm just the newbie president that's running around and causing everyone trouble. Maybe we can have this conversation again in a few decades, once I've done more for the town and the people.
Hey, there's no need to be so humble. Didn't you just help save the entire country?
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe that Boss should have a place on the statue.
Hey, if you keep inflating my ego like this, I might just float off into the sky with my parasol. Just kidding. There's no way that I'd accept that kind of compliment at face value. At a minimum, I'd have to match what my father did for the people.
I think it's just a matter of time.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. I just don't think I'm ready yet. Anyway, Florent, now it's up to us to confirm the final design, right?
Does it include Navia?
Mm-hmm. We can ask the sculptor to start looking for a good block once we've decided on the poses for Miss Clementine and Mr. Callus.
High-fiving each other.
But we haven't had any real discussions yet on the possible designs. I feel like I should get a few promising designs first, and then send them over to you to review.
There's no need for all that. Let's decide on a design right now.
Please let me decide. I'm definitely not gonna choose the joke answer.
Hey, you! Come over here with me.
Can we put googly eyes on it? Me?
Modeling a few poses, of course. Here, just pretend to be Callus, and I'll be Clementine.
Oh, I thought you meant me and Paimon. That's something that would be a lot more fitting if I was male.
Didn't you say on the boat that Callus and Clementine sounded like great partners? Well, then there's no one better to fill this role than my most valuable partner. Florent, let's grab some reference shots.
You've got it, boss. I'll go get the camera.
Well, what do you think? Got any ideas?
Shouldn't you be running this show?
Well, I've actually discussed it a bit with Florent before, but I could never come up with any fresh or original ideas. It's probably because my idea of them is already kind of set in stone. So, I want to pick your brain for a bit and see if you can come up with some new and interesting ideas.
But if it's set in stone, shouldn't you literally set them in stone?
I'm all good here, boss. Feel free to start posing whenever.
Oh, then let's try looking out into the distance.
Ah, by that, do you mean as if we were standing on a boat and looking out at the sea? Sure, let's give that a try.
That's not the Titanic pose.
Whoa, you really remind Paimon of a captain and their first mate.
I think you should have stood closer to each other.
Look over there, my dear Clementine. As you can see, every tree on that island is dripping with mora fruit.
But there's something off with the composition. This pose makes Mr. Callus look too tall next to the lady.
Oh, I see what you mean. Then let's swap.
Yeah, that is better.
Well, Paimon is a fan. A statue like this would look fantastic on a boat.
Wait, but we can't do that. Very few people would see the statue if we were to put it on a boat. This statue is meant to be placed in the town.
But you have a big boat in the town.
But then, since we're putting it in the town, the whole point of the pose would be lost.
Oh, okay. We'll try to think of something else.
Okay. Imposing.
Imposing, huh? Oh, I've got it. Let's try this.
Yes, perfect. A bit more back to back, perhaps.
This pose! It makes me recall Spina di Rosula's glorious golden age.
But isn't Clementine's pose a bit too bold and heroic? Was she really that kind of person? If we were to stick with this pose, maybe people would wonder if she was actually the real boss behind the scenes.
Well, tabloids did indeed speculate as much back in the day, but the Spina pulled a few strings and made both the report and the journalist disappear.
Oh, Paimon was just kidding! Please don't make Paimon disappear.
What Florent meant was that we asked the journalist to choose a new alias. You're right, though, that this may not accurately represent the image of her in our hearts. Let's try to come up with something else.
Okay, then why don't we just strike a happy pose?
A happy pose? You mean something like we were laughing together at a funny joke?
Would all that be able to come through with just a picture?
No, we need to make an animatronic.
Would we even be able to tell what they are supposed to be laughing about?
Yeah, and that'd probably be a massive pain to sculpt as well.
Could one of you try striking a pose like you're talking while the other one laughs? That actually sounds pretty hard to pull off. Forget it, let's try something else.
Yes.
We tried a bunch of different ideas, but none of them felt right. Paimon's all out of brain juice now, too.
Guess we need to refill on brains.
Oh, don't worry. We still got a lot of reference shots out of the session, and each of them can be considered to be a souvenir in their own right. Let's just keep the ideas we tried as backups.
Navia just wanted to take picture with me.
Man, if I knew I was going to do a photo shoot with the Traveler, I would have prepared a lot of outfits and props ahead of time.
It sure is about time that Traveler gets a different outfit.
Oh, outfits! Ugh, that's the errand I forgot back in the city. Do either of you still remember that girl? The girl I went to see with you two. Her name is Adele.
Oh, Paimon remembers her. She was the one that we met while investigating Mr. Callus's case, right?
She always believed that her father, Jacques, was a good person.
Yes, that's exactly who I'm talking about. So, after the case, she was finally willing to talk to me, and she told me that she wanted to join the Spina too. I said that it's fine, but young children are not allowed to join the Spina. She will just have to wait a few years, and then we'll welcome her with open arms. Since she's still a child, though, she thought I was just trying to let her down gently. But how could I get her to believe that I meant what I said? In the end, I came up with an idea. I'd have a Spina uniform made and give it to her as a gift.
Yeah, I had a feeling my reading of that name was wrong. More like Jack. Understood.
But I got so busy and distracted in the city that I forgot to pick the uniform up. So I did forget something important after all.
Don't worry, boss. I can send someone to pick it up right away.
On the matter of the statue, we should still come up with a few more ideas for the design. I'll have to trouble you to source some for me.
We could have just done that from the start.
Hey, at least this way we got some cool pictures.
Yeah, you're right. They'll have some value as souvenirs at least.
We can sell them. Running child.
Navia! Florent, guess who's back?
Huh? But aren't you supposed to...
Oh, well, if it isn't Coulter. Back already from the Fortress of Meripede?
That's right. I finally finished serving my time. Gotta say, turns out I was a lot tougher than I thought. After I got out, I immediately made a beeline back to Poisson. You could say that familiar, briny smell became a primal call, urging me to forget everything else and just come back home. You wouldn't believe how much I've missed Melissa's grilled fish. I dreamed about it every time I had to get a welfare meal down there underneath the sea.
You don't trust that mustache. He is currently right out of prison, so...
It's good to have you back, Coulter. You look as well as ever.
Good mustache.
And this guy is...
Let me introduce you. This is Coulter, another of Spina di Rosula's members. He was found guilty and sentenced to the Fortress of Meripede some time ago. But, looking at it now, it was probably another one of Marcel's plots while he worked at the Confrérie of Cabrières.
Wait, Mr. Marcel? What do you mean? He was involved in some sort of plot?
Have you not heard anything at all about the water from the primordial sea case?
Well, I know that Fontaine got flooded, but then the water levels miraculously receded. I thought that was all there was to it and didn't care to ask for any more details. Do you mean Mr. Marcel was somehow involved with all that?
Oh, looks like we'll have to explain everything from the top. That case, a lot of things have happened in Poisson since then.
You wouldn't know because we rebuilt it exactly the same way it was.
First things first, let me introduce you to these two. They're my most trusted partners, and they've been with me through thick and thin. Now you could call them Spina di Rosula's VIP helpers.
Oh, nice to meet you. I don't recall Navia ever generously complimenting anyone like that before. So you must be pretty amazing to get that from her.
Yeah, we are indeed pretty amazing. But we've been cool since before we even met her.
All credit to Paimon.
Wait, now you suddenly resist taking a dig at Paimon?
Nice, nice. Spina di Rosula always seems to attract great people. Oh, that reminds me. Where are Malus and Silver? Aren't they always by your side?
So about that...
About that.
Coulter, a lot of things happened while you were gone. As you can see, even Poisson isn't quite the same as how it was before you left.
I wanna see a comparison pic of before and after, because I don't believe you.
They lost their lives, keeping me safe during the flood.
What did you say? This isn't some kind of morbid welcome home prank, right? You're just scaring me on purpose because I don't know anything about what's happened.
I'm sorry, but it's the truth. They weren't the only people we lost either. Many others, including Melissa, also lost their lives in the disaster.
Malus and Melissa, dead. They're just gone? Malus. I was planning to give him a surprise gift once I ran into him again in town. I can't believe it.
Hey, keep it together.
Malus and Coulter were friends for many years, and even served on many missions together during the early days of the Spina. I can understand how he feels.
Let's sit down somewhere, so I can tell you everything that has happened while you were gone. Fair warning, there was a lot.
Okay.
Somehow I doubt you okay. At least not after we tell you all that. I'm assuming I need to go to the boat, right? Yeah. I guess we can go from the bottom, instead of trying to find the way to the upper road.
All of this, it's unbelievable. I can't believe that those stories were real. It all really happened. Has the world gone mad?
Had I not personally experienced all those events, I also would have found them very difficult to accept.
I think you and I both feel the same way about the profound tragedy of Melusa's loss. And the sheer depravity of Marcel's actions.
I thought Mr. Marcel would always stand by the Spina. Everything he had, the Spina gave to him. It's unconscionable to have received all that, and yet still plot to kidnap and dissolve you for his insane research.
The good news is that the Confrérie of Cabriere is no more. Gone with them too is the entire synth manufacturing and distribution network. We finally closed the curtain on that long struggle.
Are you sure? But if Marcel wanted to rebel against us, he probably sent word in secret to Romeu.
Romu?
Not a name I've heard before either.
Florent should remember him. You see, there was once a major internal dispute regarding funding the construction of the Aquabus lines. Romeu was the leader of the faction that thought such a vast sum of mora would be better spent improving the town of Poisson. But Mr. Callus believed that an opportunity to collaborate with the Court of Fontaine and the Fontaine Research Institute was hard to come by, and would allow us to build many valuable relationships. Not only would the Aquabus be a good business investment, it would also boost our reputation among the general populace, eventually paying us massive dividends down the line. But the two couldn't come to an agreement. Romeu ended up taking a lot of people with him when he left Spina di Rosula altogether, and the split was on extremely bad terms.
Ugh. And with Papa's stubbornness, I can definitely imagine how it must have gone down.
And of course, when he was suffering the slings and arrows of outrageous injustice, those relationships that he spent a fortune to build didn't help in the least.
Yeah, you could say it was the price he paid for sticking to his beliefs.
That couldn't have been the first time a dispute like that happened, right?
Oh, that's a good point. If Callus was really as stubborn as you say, then wouldn't he have argued with the rank and file all the time?
Oh yeah, it eventually became a thing that just happened on every day that ended with Y. But Navia, boss, you might not know this, but he wasn't always like that. He used to be a lot better with taking counsel. With him listening to our advice, and Ms. Clementine also frequently on our side, it was pretty smooth sailing for a good many years. But on the matter of the Aquabus, even Ms. Clementine completely stood by Mr. Callus's side.
Huh. I never knew. But from my perspective, Romeu's position had a lot going for it. Couldn't they have sat down and talked it out?
I think the Aquabus was just the straw that broke the camel's back. On that topic, they eventually came to a rather radical conclusion. They believed that Miss Clementine lost her ability to serve as an impartial mediator when she became pregnant with Callus's child.
So, they thought she had betrayed them? But that doesn't make any sense. Before she was their mediator, my mother was also her own person, and a member of the Spina. She should have the right to take any side she wished.
Yeah, but to them, even taking a side was betrayal enough. They felt like their voices could no longer be heard once their sole mediator had gone over to the other side. Of course, Ms. Clementine then passed away, and Mr. Callus began to regard the completion of the Aquabus project as her final wish. With that, the last hope of reconciliation was gone.
So that's what happened.
From that point on, Romeu and his people cut ties with the Spina, and never gave us any kind of professional or personal courtesy ever again. Perhaps they've regarded us as enemies ever since they left. But even so, there is still no proof that they ever acted in concert with Marcel.
I've also heard that they aren't in a good financial position, so they've been lying low for a while. But as long as they exist, they'll continue to be a threat.
Huh. I think Coulter's got a point. Both Marcel and Romeu had my father in their sights for a very long time. Even though Marcel's faction has been dissolved, we still don't know anything about Romeu's whereabouts. If they're still trying to get revenge on us, with how distracted and vulnerable we are, now would be the best time.
Good thinking, boss. We should keep an eye on them at all times. I'll let my men know right away.
Thank you for that, Florent. And Coulter, thank you for telling me about this as well.
Don't worry, it's nothing. Do you have a moment right now? How about we go out for a walk? I've heard so many incredulous things today. I'm finding it a bit hard to calm down even now. I mean, to think that I'll just never see them again.
Ah, in that case, why don't we go back to the court? I can pick up Adele's uniform while we're there as well. It'll save Laurent's guys a trip. Want to come with me again, you two? You don't mind, do you, Coulter?
Oh, of course. That's fine by me.
He minds a little bit, I feel.
Then let's go! Paimon feels like a lot's hinging on this visit.
We want to see Adele cheer up.
We really are the best of partners. Come on, let's go.
This time you did not just teleport me.
Hold the
Cat!
line.
Cat gone. Shouldn't have used water, I guess. But I was bothered by having less than half a health bar all the time.
Are we not taking the boat this time?
It's nice to walk from time to time, isn't it? Think of it as something like a hiking trip. Once we're there, we can stay a few days before we return.
Sounds good. I haven't walked this road in a long time.
A walk on the beach. A rare opportunity.
Well, we've walked far enough for now. Let's take a break. Since we're out for a walk, we shouldn't stress too much about the destination.
I've grown old, so I'm not as fit as before. It's a good thing that at least my work down in the fortress was quite the workout.
Well, Paimon thinks you're doing great. We didn't have to slow down for you at all.
Back in the days before the aquabus lines were built, we often had to hike north with our goods, then catch a boat to the court.
Ah, the good old days when there were no aquabus lines. Because I hate aquabus lines.
Malus and I must have traveled this way hundreds of times. When we were tired, we would lay down for a while on the grass, and when we were hungry, we'd catch a fish or two. The Spina was still on the rise back then. Mr. Callus was generous, and everyone had the chance to strike it rich. So, of course, we all worked really hard. And now, in the blink of an eye, the aquabus lines have been built, and this road has fallen into disuse.
I don't think that's a bad thing, though.
Oh, I know. I was just being a little nostalgic.
But also thinking it's a bad thing.
Then let's stay here a bit longer. Anyone want snacks?
Oh, is this another chance to try some of Navia's macarons? Paimon's been dreaming of them.
Yep, I figured you wouldn't say no to a few more. Oh, wait. Let me check if I have all the ingredients. Malus and Silver used to take care of tasks like this. Okay, the stove's looking good. And as for the ingredients, seems like we're all out of flour and sugar. The two most important ingredients of all.
Should I go get some? By which I mean my infinite pockets are certainly full of that stuff.
Oh, would you? Oh, but it would be too much to ask you to go on a trip just for those.
Yeah, don't worry, I have them right here.
We should contribute to making the macaron too. Don't worry, we cook out in the wild all the time, so she should have some stuff on hand.
Oh, that's great. Then I'll leave the ingredient gathering to you. As long as we have some sweet flowers and wheat, I can start the baking.
Where does she keep the stove? Wow. Possibly in her own infinite storage.
Then I'll go look for some boxes nearby for a makeshift table and chairs.
Great. Then I'll prep the stove. Let's get to work, everyone.
Give the wheat and sweet flowers to Navia. It's almost like I already have them. Also, I think I have a stove too. Or did I not build that yet? Because I would never use it. Oh no, no. Adaptai Seeker stove. A portable stove that can be quickly set up for cooking in the environment. I don't think I've used it once.
I really want to go traveling.
Yeah, can just cook everywhere now.
I don't mind where we go, as long as I have my friends with me.
That is a small stove compared to Navia's, yes.
Ah, how did it go? Did you find the ingredients?
Maybe she had it in her head. I may have some sweet flowers, and not quite as much wheat.
You've all done your part. Just leave the rest to me.
Whoa, these macarons look and taste magnificent!
I'm glad that
Good
my
as ever, Navia.
stove is also still here. Also dogs.
Boss's baking skills have always been famous. Everyone in the Spina knows how exceptionally talented she is.
Oh, it's just a hobby. There's no need to praise me for it like that.
I feel like I could possibly have placed this stove in a way where it would be very funny. Like in front of her face.
Have you two seriously never considered joining us? You're so close to the boss, and she obviously trusts you with all her heart, so...
There are still some important things we must do.
Oh, I see. Is that why you have to always stay on the road?
You just happened to walk in on our little reunion. It's actually been quite a while since we last spent time together. Adventurers never stay in one place for long. The name of Spina di Rosula would just tie them down. Besides, after everything we've been through together, I'm sure our hearts would remain intertwined even if we found ourselves on opposite sides of the world.
Navia's right. That's certainly one way of putting it.
Even if Paimon was far beyond the horizon, she'd still remember the delicious taste of Navia's macaron.
Macaron.
I understand now. Then I am very lucky indeed to have been graced with the chance to meet the two of you. I will endeavor to make the most of this short yet fortuitous encounter, and enjoy every moment we spend together.
We've got no wine with us, but let's still toast with water, in celebration of this moment.
Huh? I thought I heard something just now. Was it just some small critter? No, it was mechanical dogs.
Cheers! Hey, what are you doing? Quick, join in on the toast!
Cheers!
May your travels go smoothly, may the Spina continue to grow, and may our friendship last until the end of time. All set? Let's move out then. I asked some old acquaintances in town to make Adele's uniform, so we should be able to pick it up right away.
Well, no one's hiding here. I can tell you that much. Or else my fish would have found them. I'm not walking that.
Hey there, Ludovine. How's business lately?
The Demoiselle of Spina de Rosula. I must say, your generous patronage is the one thing keeping me from going bankrupt.
Nonsense. We all know what a talented businesswoman you are. Oh, and don't forget, she's the boss now.
My mistake, my mistake. I just got so used to calling her Demoiselle. Are you here for the uniform?
Yep. I forgot to drop by earlier when I was running errands around here.
I didn't expect Demoiselle to come and pick it up in person. It's just a uniform after all. Any of your folks could have come instead.
Navia's always liked to take even small things seriously.
Hey, that's not the only reason I'm here. We mostly just needed a walk to clear our heads. There are few things more uplifting than taking the first step on a new journey.
Boss has got a point. Going on a trip with friends is always better than staying cooped up at home.
Very well. Please, wait here while I retrieve the uniform for you.
Can someone remind Paimon again why Adele wants to join the Spina?
She hasn't given me any concrete reasons. All she says is that she really looks up to me. After we cleared her father's name, she became a lot more cheerful and outgoing. It's probably because she now knows for sure that her father was never a bad person. She said she used to be terrified of Papa, so as a result, she found all the rest of the Spina super scary as well.
I think we maybe watched.
But the Spina is very different now. She mustered up the courage to talk to me, and felt like I could really understand her.
The two of you have contended with similar circumstances.
Yeah, you could say that. By uncovering the truth about the case, I was able to give her closure at the same time. She said that she wanted to become someone like me. Someone who could lend a hand to others, instead of standing still and waiting for others to help her.
From the sound of it, she'll be a wonderful addition to the Spina.
I think so too. But for now, let's focus on giving her a great atmosphere to grow and thrive. She can commit to us once she's older, and can really make that decision for herself.
So it wasn't just hearing things, and it wasn't just dogs.
Is something up, Traveler?
That's rare for you to in text call me traveler. Follow me, someone's tailing us.
Huh? Tailing? Oh, Paimon's coming.
I'll go check it out too. Coulter, please hold on to this for me.
All right.
Paimon saw them too! They headed up!
Stop right there!
Stop, I'll shoot.
We knew you were going to be difficult!
Seems like if we want them to talk, we're gonna need to teach them a lesson first.
Brothers, there's no need to skulk in the dark anymore. Let's take them out!
Well, too bad, because this Navia has an axe.
Where'd that come from? Oh!
This!
Hiya! Come on!
Navia does a ton of
Now,
damage.
talk. Who are you? And why were you tailing us?
Like, I'm using the fish on her. On my Navia. And that is mainly because most of her damage comes from her elemental skill, which does not care about the fish. I think she may have broken my damage record, despite the fish, at some time.
Don't think we'll let you off easy if you keep silent.
Recognize your situation and don't entertain any fantasies of escape.
How did it go, boss? Are any of you hurt?
No, we literally insta-killed them.
If you thought they stood any chance against us, you were sorely mistaken. Anyway, stop playing tough and start talking. There won't be any room for negotiation once the Maison Gardiennage gets involved.
We're looking to get vengeance on Spina di Rosula.
For what?
We were discovered and can't beat you in a fight. We admit it. We lost.
Get revenge? Wait, you're not Romeu's followers, are you?
You actually know that name? But if you do, then surely you should understand why we hate you so much.
I would advise you to calm down.
Indeed. You haven't got the faintest hope of winning right now.
We were out drinking when we saw Navia. We got so angry we decided to follow you guys and look for an opportunity to really mess up your day. Too bad you guys messed up ours first. Huh?
I didn't read what that was, because once again my mouse was in the wrong spot. You followed us all the way here. There's more to this. I'm assuming she said something along the lines of you are lying.
You're pretty sharp. But so what? We didn't do anything. And now it should be pretty obvious that we can't do anything to you anyway. Seeing you like that just really ticked us off. And we let the drink go to our heads.
Listen, Callus is long dead. No matter what happened in the past, I want to be able to start things anew.
Oh, she said exactly you were lying. Great.
I am the current president of Spina di Rosula. If your boss wants to talk with me, I'd be happy to meet with him. I won't press charges for your attack. That should also help demonstrate my sincerity.
I understand. Thank you. I'll let our boss know.
But if you so much as think about pulling something like this again, I won't be so lenient next time. Understood?
All right. We get it. Come on, let's go.
Are you sure it's okay to just let them go like that, Navia?
Yes, because now we can follow them in secret.
I don't want to inherit my father's grudges, too. Moreover, when it comes to the Aquabus, I don't think what my father did was entirely correct either.
Yeah, there should have been a line to Poison.
If the other side is willing to talk, I'm happy to open the door for a reconciliation. Opportunities for new beginnings are all around us.
I support Boss's decision as well. The concept of an eye for an eye is a primitive practice that has no place in today's Spina di Rosula.
Yes. Plus, we already know that they're strapped for cash. If their financial situation is that dire, they don't have what it takes to challenge us. So this may be the best time to talk.
They also don't have the power to fight you. So yes.
I still think we should keep an eye out for Romeu's folks, though. If he decides to ignore the warning I gave his men, then we could still have a fight on our hands.
Which we would win. Easily.
Yeah, those guys definitely didn't look like big fans of yours.
I'd rather things not go that far, since, though we haven't talked to each other for years, once upon a time we were all a part of the Spina di Rosula family.
Yep, that's how I feel as well. Anyway, now that we've sent them packing, we don't have to worry about those guys anymore. It's getting late already, so why don't we stay the night in the Fleuve Cendre? We can head back to Poisson tomorrow.
Did you get what you wanted yet from that shop?
I'll also ask someone to write Florent a letter and inform him of everything that happened here today, so he can increase security around Poisson and be on guard against any suspicious individuals.
Do we have to stay in the Fleuve Cendre again? Even the pillows there smell like seaweed.
Sorry, that's just what happens when you live near water and don't get much sunlight. Poisson's pretty much the same though, so I've long since gotten used to it. We can still go out in the evening for some grilled fish and drinks though. Betcha there'll be people singing sea shanties too. How does that sound?
Huh. That does sound pretty cool. Okay, Paimon's on board now. Let's go. Paimon wants to sing too.
We got the Spina di Rosula uniform gift box. Navia prepared this gift, which contains a Spina di Rosula uniform for Adele. The dimensions are a bit large for Adele at present, but it works just fine for a promise. Navia, it's nighttime. Navia. Navia, hey. I guess you don't care.
Coming at ya!
It's also a male uniform. Maybe they are just like that. Well, they might be unisex.
Coming back here really does feel like this place is starting to grow on Paimon. If you think about it, it would be kind of weird if the Spina's base at the court was some super luxurious building like the Palais Mermonia.
Totally. Right on the money, Paimon. Although, of course, with the continued growth of the Spina, Papa wanted Poisson to eventually grow into a metropolis, not unlike the court. He was a very ambitious man, who rarely looked behind or beneath him. For better or worse, that always made him stand out from the crowd.
And that's also why people hated him just as much as they loved him.
All right. Why don't you go wait for me at the restaurant? I'll go do some prep, and I'll get someone to tidy up your room while I'm at it.
Get out all of that seaweed smell.
You can use the same room as last time. You still remember the room number, yeah?
Yep. Kinda hard to forget when there are only so many rooms here after all.
Oh, did I just hear someone taking a dig at Fleuve Cendre? I'll tell my guys to stuff your pillows full of actual seaweed right now.
Oh, Paimon, sorry! Please have mercy, Navia. If you do that, then Paimon really won't be able to sleep at all.
I was just kidding. Be on your way now.
Wait, where is my table? Did I just walk past it? Yes, because I was looking at that quest marker, which is not the quest marker for this quest. Fantastic meal was enjoyed.
Hello? Are you asleep yet?
Navia, did something happen?
Oh no, not at all. I just figured that since we don't get to enjoy nights like these very often, we should try to enjoy it to the fullest. Wanna go fishing? I've got some rods and lures ready.
I haven't fished in ages.
Oh, so that's the prep you were talking about. Sure, we'll come.
Hopefully I didn't wake you or anything.
You're good.
Don't worry, you don't have to do any actual fishing if you're too tired.
I'd love to do some actual fishing.
Just think of it as keeping me company. How does that sound? Okay, let's go. To the fishing spot.
Need a new sword. Funny that you mentioned that, because there is a sword you can get from fishing, which would actually be pretty good, but I haven't done any fishing. It's not a fish sword. It's still pretty funny though. What's the best teleport point for there? Here, maybe. Actually, I can just swim from here. A boot sword. That would also be funny.
fishing when you're using a fully automatic rod.
Yeah, that's not at all what I expected.
What's the problem? Lots of people in Poisson use rods like these.
But shouldn't fishing be all about, you know, attentively watching the float and then excitedly reeling in the catch when you finally hook something?
Well, that's one way to enjoy fishing. What do you think, Traveler?
I like Paimon's method. Manual all the way.
Then let's try regular rods next time. We can have a real fishing competition.
Honestly, Paimon's mainly shocked at how much energy you still have at this hour. Usually by this time of night, it's a struggle for Paimon to even keep her eyes open.
Crab is approaching slowly.
Huh. It might just be something that runs in my family.
That's a thing?
I'm sure you'd get even sleepier if I delved more deeply into it. Anyway, I was just thinking about how grateful I am to my mother, as well as the rest of the Spina.
Your mother?
My father always had a lot of unrealistic expectations for me. But the more that he tried to get me to become like him, the less I wanted to listen to what he had to say. My mother never had those kinds of expectations, though. I've heard that she had only one wish for me, which was that I would have a happy and secure childhood. All the members of the Spina greatly respected her wish, so no matter what I did as a child, they were happy to humor me. Can you imagine? Whenever my father wanted to scold me for something I'd done, everyone would form up into 2 rows and just stand silently and listen to him rant. Malouse and Silver were always there too. No matter what Papa yelled, nobody else would say a word. Eventually, Papa must have recognized scolding me over trivial matters was pointless, because he eventually stopped getting on my case so often.
Paimon would have never guessed.
Yeah. Looking back on it now as an adult, I can hardly believe how patient and kind everyone was. When I was young, I often thought that I could do whatever I wanted, because there'd always be someone there to clean up after me. But once, I saw Malouse come back wounded. He wouldn't tell me how he'd been injured, but I could tell it had something to do with me. I learned then that there's always a cost to making a mistake. The more you care about those around you, the more you should care about doing the right thing to the best of your abilities. Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences. And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you and pay the price for your mistakes.
Navia, it must still be really hard for you. Crap.
Sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up. I wasn't planning to talk about sad things tonight. Basically, I was just saying that the nurturing atmosphere of the Spina must have been my mother's legacy, rather than my father's. And if that's the only way that I can continue to feel her love, then I'd like to pass that warmth on.
Is that why you let those guys go today?
Mm-hmm. Although, maybe there's a part of not wanting to repeat the mistakes of the past. I want to be reasonable, at least. Hey, look! I think you've got something on the line!
But why isn't the rod automatically reeling it in?
Oh, there must be something wrong with how I installed the mechanism. It was my first time putting one of those rods together. We can't let it get away. Come on, you two. Let's catch it.
You want Paimon to help too?
No, Paimon, you're gonna drown. After some time, you finally manage to reel in the prize catch together. For the rest of the night, your rod continues to rack up catch after catch, but for some reason Navia can't seem to hook a single fish. Navia is quite upset about her bad luck, but it's only when you begin to head back that Paimon discovers the real reason to the mystery of why she didn't get a single bite.
You didn't attach a hook to your line?
Silly Navia. Can't hook anything without hooks.
Stop wasting time! The boss ain't gonna wait all day. We'll go ahead with the operation tomorrow. Do with that information as you wish.
There was someone we might not have been able to trust because of their mustache.
Well, your rod was missing a part too, so I guess that makes it fair.
Well, if we're just talking about the number of missing parts, sure. Oh, never mind. Paimon really can't keep her eyes open anymore.
All right, go to bed. I had a great time today.
See you tomorrow, Navia.
See you tomorrow.
Clock sounds.
So how was last night? Did you get a good night's sleep?
Paimon dreamt that she danced with the sea stars, so you could say it was stellar. Get it?
And then Li Huan just punches her.
Huh.
And just where did you get that from?
I didn't know you had such a great sense of humor.
And then we punch him.
See? This guy gets it!
Anyway, let's head out. I'll arrange for a boat to take us back to Poisson. I'm sure Adele will be happy to see you two again.
Paimon hopes she'll really appreciate your gift.
I hope so too.
Why did you not take me to the thing that I got immediately? And instead put me to the mellow wood multi-model wardrobe? Well, because it's at the top, I guess. But the other thing also needs to be somewhere topside, considering it's new. There it is. Poisson Trigger Transmission Fishing Rod, a full automatic fishing rod designed by combining the rich fishing experience available in Poisson and complex clockwork technology. Despite its enormous size, once properly assembled, even complete beginners can easily catch large fish using it. Of course, this doesn't mean that this tool is suitable for everyone, as this fishing rod has a complex clockwork mechanism that requires meticulous and thorough maintenance. Otherwise, malfunctions such as a reel failure or hook detachment may occur frequently. Considering the high cost and difficulty of learning the necessary maintenance skills, learning traditional fishing techniques with a relaxed mindset might be a viable alternative to using this device.
I do love Spina di Rosula's logo.
Do you now?
Adele, we're back! We brought you a gift from the court, too.
Whoa! Thank you so much, boss!
Don't call her boss, okay, Adele? Just Miss Navia would be fine.
Oh, it's all right. I don't mind. Besides the gift, I've also got another surprise. Guess who's here?
It's been a while!
Hello again.
Oh, it's you two. It has been a while indeed. Thank you so much for your help on Jacques' case. I've heard that you also helped save all of Fontaine. You're truly just like the great heroes of legend.
You're really amazing! And if Miss Navia's your friend, then she must be super amazing too! What's in this thing? Can I look?
Of course. Go ahead.
Oh, it's a Spina di Rosula uniform! Is it for me? But isn't it a bit big?
Well, it's a gift for future you. When you first told me that you were interested in joining the Spina, I was overjoyed. But it's the Spina's responsibility to protect everyone as well. Being a member means becoming involved in all kinds of dangerous situations. And since you're still young, I don't want your mom to have to worry about your safety. So, I turned you down then by telling you that you'll have to wait until you're older. But this uniform is a promise that you can join us once you're old enough to wear it.
Oh, so that's it! Well, thank you so much, Miss Navia! I'll work hard and grow up as fast as I can!
But you can't really grow up faster by working hard. You've got to be patient.
Everyone, I'm really grateful that you remembered my daughter's wish and took it seriously. Thanks to the protection of the Spina, even though her father's no longer with us, we've still felt plenty of warmth and security.
Oh, it's the least we could do. As long as you live in Poisson, even if you're not an official member, you're still part of the family.
Boss!
Huh? Is something up, Florent?
I've got something urgent to report. Romeu and his folks have gathered outside Poisson and even shipped in a huge pile of explosives.
Oh no, we'll have to rebuild Poisson again.
What? Explosives? What do they want?
It seems like they've been planning this for some time. We started investigating as soon as we received your letter yesterday. But Romeu and his folks must have gotten wind as well, because they abandoned their former posts before we could even check on them. We investigated their tracks and found out that they're after Poisson.
Could they have smartened up since we caught them red-handed at the court?
Seems like they've got no interest in sitting down and talking at all. We should have gone straight to the Maison Gardiennage.
Sorry, I underestimated the situation. Well, too late now, I suppose. Florent, where are they keeping their explosives?
On the hill to the east of Poisson, near the Clementine line.
Wait, could that mean they want to target the line and not Poisson?
They want to blow up the Clementine line?
Certainly sounds like it.
They really are upset that there's no stop.
Romeu and his followers hate the Spina and everything to do with Callus. And the Aquabus was the source of their contention. If they manage to blow up the Aquabus line, all that rubble will come crashing down the hill and straight into Poisson.
So you are aware how close it is to Poisson.
Are they insane? There's tons of innocent people in Poisson!
We have to stop them.
Yeah. If they've been planning this for ages, they're definitely not going to let this opportunity slip by. We have to issue an evacuation order to the townspeople and get them as far away from the entrance as possible. That should save them from the worst of it.
Let's get everyone onto our ship. That should be the safest place.
My dear partner, can I leave the Clementine line to you? If the explosives do go off, not only would the people of Poisson be in danger, any aquabuses using the line would plummet to the ground. Let's stop their insanity first, then settle the score with them.
Got it.
Leave it to us, Navia. Please stay safe, too.
Let's go, you two. We've got to act fast. Miss Coralie, please take Adele to the ship.
Would have been funny if he held a gun while lowering his hand. Well, close enough.
Watch out, boss! What do you think you're doing, Coulter?
I thought all the annoying little hindrances had left, but I still couldn't get rid of you.
You mean this was all a trick? So that you'd be left alone with me? Coulter, are you with Romeo too?
So he really was not happy that Paimon and I went on the walk with them. It was so easy to tell from his voice.
I get it now. You knew about their plans all along. You only told us they were doing badly so that we'd drop our guard.
Not quite. Though I share their positions on some issues, I've never cared for his more radical ideas. And that's because, out of the entire Spina di Rosula, I only hate you. Only you, Navia.
You better stick close to me.
Romeo promised me that he would leave Poisson alone if I could just take you out. But it was like you were glued at the hip to that pesky traveler. You never gave me a chance to make my move. Romeo has lost his patience. I didn't have to be here today, you know. But I swore that I'd kill you, even if it meant being buried with you in the rubble.
Why?
Only someone as clueless about the past as you would ask such a foolish question. You never saw the heyday of Spina di Rosula, nor did you ever live through the golden age of Poisson. But I saw it all with my own eyes, and then I had to watch it all die, little by little. And it was all because of you, Navia. Clementine died because of you. Callus died because of you. Malus and Silver died because of you. And so many more dead. Everyone dead, all because of you.
So the shock and grief you showed us before, that was in Act 2?
Now you're catching on. I heard Malus was dead the moment I got out. Did you know? Down there in that blasted fortress, I spent a long time thinking about what happened, and resolving to apologize to Malus as soon as I got out. Back then, because of that aqua bus, we had a huge fallout. I was convinced that all he cared about was loyalty, and that he had completely lost his capacity for critical thinking. The years passed by in a blur after that. I thought I had finally begun to understand him, and that he could help me relive the good old days again. But then he died, and it was because of you again, Navia! It's always because of you! I once loved the Spina and Poisson more than anyone else. But what is left now of either besides death and ruin? You've single-handedly destroyed everything that was beautiful. Everything I've ever loved.
Don't listen to him, boss! He's just spouting nonsense!
Have you ever considered that maybe the people around you don't actually care about you at all? Have you ever considered that maybe you only get respect because you're Callus and Clementine's child? That you've never done anything worthy? That you're just a big nothing? Have you ever considered that maybe people don't stay in Poisson because of you, but only because they have such beautiful memories of the past before you came?
Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences. And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you and pay the price for your mistakes. Yeah, looking back on it now as an adult, I can hardly believe how patient and kind everyone was. But is that really why they support me? Is their kindness real?
Shut your mouth! I, for one, really like Miss Navia, and my mom loves her too! I don't know how to explain it, but I like her, and that's that!
I'm sure Mr. Malus would be extremely disappointed in you right now. You've somehow managed to pin the blame for every mistaken tragedy in our history on the boss herself.
Get out of the way, Florent. I don't want to hurt you.
You're gonna have to. Boss, there's no time for this. Stop hesitating and get out of here before you get buried.
Maybe you think you're being the realist by painting the history of the Spina and Poisson like this. But the love that I felt from everyone was just as real. I felt it. They've helped me get to where I am. And even now, I will continue to believe in that love. So let me show you just how much I love the Spina di Rosula.
By shooting you really hard, Mr. Person living in the past and friends.
Coming at ya. Hiya. Watch out. Ha. Ha. Cha. Ha. Watch out. Attack. That's the way. Coming at ya. Hiya. Ow. I'm fine.
He's not.
Laurent, I'll leave the town to you. Summon the other members and help with the evacuation of the townspeople. If you find any of Coulter's accomplices, subdue them quickly, and don't give them the chance to harm any ordinary civilians. I can't allow my partner to face the danger on the Clementine line alone.
Got it, boss. I'm on it. Are you okay, Navia?
Oh, also I have a mustache, so also I must betray you now.
I don't know, but I have to go.
I guess because he has a beard, it evens out.
Let's hurry up there.
Okay.
We have to protect the Clementine line. If they're gonna blow up the waterway, they must have planted the explosives next to the support pillars.
We should go to Mondstadt and get our explosive expert. Also, time limit.
Fire! Well, with Ross.
Come into being.
Whirling snow! Ha! Ha! Yeah! Yeah!
Live!
Allow me.
Embrace the ice! Yeah! Ha!
These certainly brought a lot of muscle. They're really slowing us down. But if we're meeting resistance, we must be heading in the right direction.
Feel this ancient power. Ah! A miscalculation.
Rust and rebuild. These must be the explosives, right? And this is the control mechanism. How can we disable it? Oh, Paimon's too scared to touch any of this stuff.
What's this?
Huh? There's a strangely shaped hole here. What is it for?
Could it be some kind of keyhole or maybe an emergency switch?
Oh, that certainly sounds possible. Maybe one of the people we just beat up has the key. Okay, you take this side, Paimon will take the other. Let's see what we can find.
See, the time limit has stopped. Money! Radish! Strangely shaped key.
That's amazing!
A key you got from a member of Romeo's gang. This seems to be the tool required to stop the explosives. More money. Nope, Paimon, the timer has stopped. We are fine. Also, this will just make them explode.
That should do it, right? Navia and Florent should be able to relax now.
We should still check out the perimeter, just in case.
Oh, you're right. They could have set explosives elsewhere, too. Let's go. They're gonna bury Poisson!
Great work, partner. Just leave the rest to me.
Watch out, Navia! You can't block them all!
Block. I'm doing this the Spina way.
That was quite a bit of action. I enjoyed that Traveler used her geopowers.
I heard from Thierry that even they're your enemies now. They were once a part of Spina di Rosula. Do you plan to settle this privately with them?
Meaning that possibly outside of actual gameplay, she can switch between the elements she has obtained at will.
I have nothing more to say to them. Regardless of whether their hatred and anger towards me or the Spina was justified, anyone who's willing to endanger innocent civilians is no longer sane enough to even be worth trying to talk to. Please prosecute them in accordance to the law. Spina di Rosula will not raise any objections.
Double crab.
Sounds good. We're very appreciative of your help. Without it, the consequences would have been far worse. All right, this operation is a wrap. Take him away.
We won, Navia! We saved everyone! And you are so cool!
I like how your eye is looking through your head.
Yeah. Luckily, we were just in time.
You look a little pale.
It's probably because I expended too much elemental energy at once. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, normally you can just shoot 2 of your shots, one after another.
But you usually glow up whenever other people compliment you. Paimon's not used to seeing you like this.
Boss, we managed to catch all the infiltrators in the town. The Maison Gardiennage is taking them away as well. Seems like Romeu really went all in on this mission. If he sent literally everyone he had, though, that also means we've caught them all, too. We won't have to worry about them from now on.
Got it. That's good, at least. Coulter. I can understand how you feel. The things that we lost, they're forever beyond our grasp now. And that makes them appear even more precious. I am not callous, and I will also never become him. The Spina and the Poisson that you loved are both gone. But I will not change how I feel about our future. I still believe that this is a great opportunity to start anew. I will spend more of what the Spina earns on the betterment of Poisson. What's more, I'd also like to propose some changes to the Aquabus routes, so that one day, the people of Poisson will enjoy the boons it brings as well.
Should have just let them blow it up, so they can build a station right there.
I know what you're trying to say. Mr. Callus would never have said anything like that. There are too many things in life that are just beyond our control. In that, we are the same.
Henceforth, you are no longer a member of Spina di Rosula. But once you're discharged from the fortress again, you're welcome to pay another visit to Poisson.
Thank you, Navia.
We heard you like prison so much, so welcome back.
As I thought. Boss really is a kind and gentle person.
Crab is having problems.
She is also, I must say, a truly unlucky person. Thank you for protecting the Clementine line. I was actually really scared, you know. I mean, even the Callus line won't be getting rebuilt anytime soon. If I'd lost the Clementine line too, I wouldn't know how to live with myself. A name is a way to etch a memory onto the world. Losing the line that bears her name, that I can see every day, would be like losing my mother all over again. Seeing it still standing there, tall and proud, it makes me really happy.
What happened while we were gone? Honestly, you look more upset than tired or anything.
Just give her some time.
It's okay. Everything's fine now.
Thank you so much. Can you give me a hand? I really don't have much strength left. Traveler, I want to ask you something. And please, tell me the truth.
CG!
Do you really see me as your partner?
Of course.
Voice lines!
That's good then.
Will you betray me? No, because I do not have a mustache.
Hearing that, it brings me more relief than I can say.
Voice line. Singular.
How do you feel, Navia? Any better after taking a break?
I feel quite a bit better. But I should probably still rest for a few more days. Sorry, partner. I said some weird things earlier. Feel free to just ignore me.
A little weird, that's true. But that's because I've never heard you doubt yourself before.
I used to think that I'd never doubt myself. But you could say I've discovered that I'm not as strong as I thought I was. Coulter mentioned my parents, as well as Malus and Silver. It's all thanks to them that I've made it this far in life. Do you think they ever regretted the choices they made? Has my existence made this world a better place?
Don't think like that, Navia. You've already done more than enough. No matter what others think, we'll always support you to the end of the world.
Well, since it's ended up like this, I suppose it's time for me to make a confession as well.
I'm betraying you.
There's something that I've been keeping from you as well, boss. Please, follow me. Everything is already prepared.
Florent, I hope you can understand that I can't deal with any more shocking revelations right now.
Sorry, but I made you part of that statue too, whether you like it or not.
Don't worry. This surprise will be a pleasant one.
Guess we are going from the bottom again.
Why is everyone gathered here? And what's this?
It's the Spina di Rosula logo that you like so much.
This was supposed to be a gift to you from everyone in the town. We were originally planning to show it to you once it was finished. But special times call for special measures. I've never seen you look so defeated before. So I've decided to show you the designs before the final product was done.
Do I really look that bad?
Well, if you're ready, I'll unveil the present.
This is... Papa, Mother, and me.
We designed the look for Miss Clementine based on old camera records, as well as personal recollections from members of the Spina.
Wow! This is the statue you mentioned before?
It is indeed. To be honest, we decided on the design a long time ago, and gave the sculptor permission to begin working. We only asked Boss to decide on a design so she wouldn't realize we had already started.
How could we only have statues of Mr. Callus and Mrs. Clementine?
I'm glad you were so sure that you would not come up with a really good design that would make you look stupid.
Even though Boss is still young, we've all seen the work she's put in regarding the whole synth business and the rebuilding of Poisson.
We wanted to commemorate her contributions with a statue as well.
I don't know what Spina di Rosula was like in the past, but I know it's a great organization now.
With Navia around, we're not worried about this place's future.
We're gathered here today to tell our boss that we support you and believe in you wholeheartedly. I believe everyone is here for you, not the glory days.
That's what we believe as well.
I will also always believe in the bond between us.
Thank you so much, everyone. Then I'll be brave and just accept everyone's support for what it is. This really is quite the surprise. I never thought that I'd have the chance to stand next to my mother. Not even in my wildest dreams.
And we brave the tides together. Like one Navia to the other.
It seems like like I started to question myself a bit too much. I'll pick myself up again and become a more reliable president for all of you. Looking back on it, I'm honestly embarrassed by how I acted earlier.
About Clementine.
You know, I've thought about it before. Though my mother only wanted me to live a happy life, that's actually a tall order as well. In practice, it's just as hard to achieve my father's expectations for me. Even though my parents had very different personalities, they always had a lot of respect for each other. The Aquabus project was a monumental project that stood to benefit all of Fontaine. It would have been a little close-minded to assess or evaluate it only from the perspective of the clan. I think that's probably why she didn't step in to mediate or oppose the building of the lines. It seems like I started to question myself a bit too much. Looking back on it, I'm honestly
About the
embarrassed
gift.
by how I'm sure everyone longs for that one thing in life that seems trivial to others, but they themselves can never obtain. To me, that would be a family portrait. I've always been super jealous of other people's family photos. I've never thought I'd receive a family portrait of my own. Especially not like this. It seems like I'm not such an unlucky person after all. It seems like I started to question myself a bit too much. Looking back on it, I'm
About
honestly
asking,
embarrassed by how
do
I
you
acted
really see
earlier.
me as your partner?
Oh, whoa. Why'd you have to remind me? Please don't say that again. It's super embarrassing for me. Oh, forget it now. Please forget that I ever said anything. Oh, wait. But it'd also be bad if you were to forget it. Okay, but please keep it a secret between us from now on. Please don't ever mention it again.
Yes, I won't mention it again. I know I must go, because somehow a quest really wanted to be played today. The cloud-padded path to sheer wing repose. Paimon is a bit worried, and so am I. Can still hear a little bit of poison. Eh? Then that's... Ninghuan and Paimon, you are here. Huh? Ninghuan, why are you over here? Because I can't get in. Can't get in? Where can't you get in? Carp's Rest, where Fujin is resting. Carp's Rest? Oh, you mean the place Fujin dragged us off to way back when? It is an abode sealed by her adaptal energy. I don't have her adaptal energy, thus I cannot go to her. Huh? But you didn't mention anything before she went back to rest. It escaped my mind. Bit late now, Bluey. Yeah, how could you forget something as important as that? Really now? It is because I am slow, because I am a slow-witted beast. Seeing her, I think of many things and forget many things. It is my fault. The adaptal energy you possess is sufficient to open the gate of Carp's Rest, so yes, I need your help. Huh? Wait a sec. So you've been waiting here for us this whole time? I was not waiting for you. I was looking for a way into Carp's Rest. That seems like pretty much the same thing too. Anyway, we are a bit worried about Fujin's condition too, so why don't we go see her together? Fine. Thank you both. Follow me. Don't you need to follow us? considering you need us to open Carp's Rest. Boy, I'm glad these clouds are not real clouds. How do you Carp's Rest? Oh, wait. I see. Path. Secluded path. This is the place. The door is open. Let's just go on forward. We could never open this seal. Power requires familiarity. What a fishy path. Jade fragment right. A jade fragment with adaptable energy lingering around it. In the legends told by the ancestral people, all jade originally came from the same stone. If that holds true, it might be possible to join the jade fragments together. That piece was easy to miss. I hope it's not important. Clarion Echo. We can come back here if we so wish. Li Huan, Paimon, and Ling Yuan. Why did you all come here? Oh, that's Fujin's voice, and it's coming from down below. I'm a little worried about you. Yeah, we're all worried about your health, so we just came here without giving you a heads up. You did the same thing to us first, so Paimon thinks we are square now. I see music. Huh? Ah, sorry. When I returned here to rest, I think I forgot to unlock the entrance. I'm so sorry. You came here to see me, but I made things harder for you instead. Oh, it wasn't much of a hassle, but why are you, hiding in a puddle? How should I put it? Because I can't return to the form I prefer yet. And with you guys always seeing me in my carp form, I can't help but feel a bit embarrassed. You are aware that we have already seen it many, many times, right? So there's no need to hide yourself in there. But before I could turn back into human form whenever I wanted, so I thought moving around as a carp was just a matter of convenience. But now all I have is this slick and slippery self, so I find it a bit... Whoa, that's a bit of a strange thing to be so insistent about, but anyway, all that matters is that you are okay. But Ling Yuan said that your adaptable energy wasn't consumed, it was just dispersed throughout the mountains, forests and rivers of Shenyu Vale. That's why you've been weakened so much. So if we were to collect the scattered adaptable energy, just like when we were finding the golden carp in Yaodi Valley, then you'd get better, right? Yes, at least in theory that's correct, but... Right? So if we see similar carp, we should just bring them back here. That way you'll recover much faster. That would be far too much trouble for you. My power is not yet that feeble. If I simply rest here for some time, it will be enough. It's not that much of a hassle. We'll just keep our eyes peeled if we run into any. Thank you, then. However, I really don't want to trouble you anymore on my behalf. You've already done so much for me. If the two of you should happen to find any more adaptable energy during your travels, please simply transfer it into the jade here. Wait. Is this the use for the not oculi in this area? Do we have to bring them all here? Though balance has been restored to the water and soil, if we can add more power to the rain jade, we can ensure favorable weather and prosperous years to come. And what about you? Really now? I already told you. All I need to do is rest here for a bit. Li-Huan, Paimon, I really am quite grateful and quite happy that you came to visit me. This is the first time anyone has come here since Herblord left. Thank you as well, Ling-Yuan. I have done nothing worth of your thanks. Alright, enough of that. Then just think of it as me thanking you for bringing Li-Huan and Paimon here. Really now. And lastly, let me say thank you once more, Li-Huan and Paimon, for all you have done. Rain Jade Oblation. Place the spirit cup. Yes, okay. Fujin's adaptable energy has transformed into many spirit cups that are scattered all over Shenyu Vale. Collect the energy within spirit cup and transfer it into the votive rain jade within Cup's Rest to increase its level and obtain the blessing of Shenyu Vale. So that is exactly what this is. And there is not more story to it, unless at the end of getting all of them. When you have collected 40 Spirit Cup, you will receive the votive Rain Jade Revelation, which will mark the location of the remaining Spirit Cup. Return Spirit Cup. Level 3. I get some gacha rolls and some upgrade materials. Is there anything great hidden behind here? Northlander Belatrov. That's not bad. And 2 hidden things. According to Fujin, by placing the Spirit Cup collected during your adventures into the Jade, not only can you ensure favorable weather for Shenyu Vale for next year, but you will also receive the blessing of the soil and water. Meanwhile, Navia is making sounds in the background. But good. At least this is not a thing that took forever today. I was a bit worried. But it also explains why we can teleport here. So this is our big mushroom of this area. Is there anything else here? Possibly not. No, I see an invisible barrier. Despite the fact that things look funny or fun beyond. And that piece of jade we found possibly is for a different quest then. With its pieces being scattered all over this new area. I wouldn't be surprised. Also, I have 17 of them. Out of 4. No, it's 40 to unlock how many there are. It's 40 to unlock the rest being shown on the map, so there's probably 50 or so. And here's one more. Because I saw it while we were walking there. Speaking of things I saw while we were walking, I'm dumb because I saw music in here. Right there. Ten levels. 15 to unlock level 3, so maybe the progression is 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, probably. now, while jumping for that thing, I was seeing something else. Now, where did I jump to, though? To or from? Here. $225 for level 10 is indeed too much. Reach the target location. I reached the target location. I will not open this. Because I am almost certain that I have all I need for today's commissions, yes. Good. Great. Amazing. Now there was something I actually wanted to take a peek at after Navia today. And because this was so short, we can still take a peek at it. It's not something we're gonna do in full. But it is an event that's currently going on. It's the journey through enigmatic terrain. That's a word. Mysterious statues have suddenly appeared in Dadaupa Gorge, and in the villages, the Hilichurl tribes are behaving strangely. There must be some secret in the depths of these places for adventurers to discover. I mostly want to start it, so I'm motivated to finish it. And I'm almost certain I can't even finish it today, but I guess we'll see. Nini Movo Muhe Yoyo. I hope you understand. I mean, maybe it's very short and I can finish it. But I guess we'll find out real quick. I'm sorry. Was there a Hilichurl? I don't think so. That is a strange pillar. The Eye of Upano takes the shape of a floating mask and comes from moving components of the strange Samachurl statues. It can remotely transmit images of what it is seeing back. The Eye of Upano can bind itself to a target Hilichurl or Anemo slime and move along with them while remaining undetected. However, Samachurls seem capable of seeing through this disguise. Use the Eye of Upano to infiltrate the Hilichurl camps and search for the target in the deepest reaches and search for similar strange Samachurl statues. I may be able to find key clues this way. Hilichurl silliness incoming. Use the Eye of Upano to attach yourself to the Hilichurl to move. Investigate the object in the deepest part of the camp. The Eye of Upano can affect certain objects from a certain range, such as sunsettias, smoke launchers, hydro embers, and bonfires. Use this ability well to access the deepest part of the camp more easily. Oh no, we dropped a sunsettia on a guy. So this guy is a Summer Churl, and he can see through my disguise. For some unknown reason, all Summer Churls are capable of detecting the Eye of Upano and chasing it far away. As such, you must avoid their line of sight. Use smoke launchers to block their line of sight. I blocked your line of sight. It's a stealth mission. Using hilly churls for travel. Nini movo muhe yoyo. Oh, you were still there, huh? There's something above me. What is that? Is that also part of this? Go away. I should do them in order, even if that is another thing. That's a domain of sorts. Enigmatic duel. Me, Muhe, yay! On your first visit to the domain, the master lurking within turned out to be an unusually large summer churl, which Paimon has taken the liberty of naming the mystifying Mega Churl. Your intrusion seems to have upset it greatly, and the battle is unavoidable. A sextuple-sized Sunsetia crisis is inbound. Can do this online. If we so wish. The mystifying Megachurl will use sextuple-sized Sunsetia to attack in battle. However, after you use normal attacks or charge attacks to burst these large fruits, juice will be left on the ground, and this juice can be used to cause the mystifying Megachurl to slip and fall. Big.
Hey there! Hold the line!
He slipped and fell.
Moments of birth.
Watch out! A proper send-off! From the Spina with love. Ta! Ha!
Burst forth.
Sakura swirl!
Yeah, that was 111,000 damage, Navia.
Watch out!
Feel this ancient power.
That's quite some numbers you are making.
Hey there! Ta! Fire!
Fire! With rocks. More stealth. Yeah, it said I can also attach myself to slimes, right? I wonder if there's multiple viable paths. I assume there might be. Bad. Can't be a bore. That would be too boring. Mini movo mimi tomo. Some hilly charts are slower than others. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This was almost bad. These guys too big to be a target, I guess. Lata movo mosi yoyo. Honestly, that's my opinion as well. Let's make this guy fall with silly sounds again. Domu Atana. According to your observation, this Samachurl occupied place bears many similarities to the divine ingenuity domain. Perhaps that Samachurl has found its way in by mistake before discovering a way to use the domain's power. Speaking of which, you can't help but feel sorry for the Samachurl in here all alone with nothing but countless cabbages to keep in company, while the other hilly churls revel outside. The mystifying Megatroll will summon plummeting cabbages to strike its foes. However, normal attacks and charge attacks can be used to deflect the cabbages back at it and knock it down. Cabbage-based warfare. It was only a matter of time.
Whirling snow. Yeah.
Also, floor-based. Floor-based combat.
My apologies.
Come into being. Witness my great undertaking.
Hey there. Whirling snow. Kamisato art. Sumetsu.
I assume he takes a lot more damage while grounded. So using that ultimate was a bit of a miss. Waste. Golden cabbage.
My apologies. Fire. Well, with Ross.
I don't miss your time with this guy. You're just gonna waste your energy.
Feel this ancient power.
Watch out! Hold the line. Whirling snow. Yeah. Fire! Well, with Ross.
Burst forth.
Take flight.
Oh, I do need to aim though. And that was enough. La la la. Though you can't tell how this works, it seems that the mystifying Megatroll has also learned how to use wind currents, making it a tough customer and not to be underestimated. The mystifying Megatroll has come up with a way to summon the winds and generate large wind currents in the domain. When it is generating wind currents, use shockwaves from plunging attacks to more easily defeat the Megatroll. See, we are both doing this.
Come into being.
Rest and revive. Embrace the ice. Watch out. Hiya. Coming at ya. Ha-ha. Ha. Cha.
But opposed to you, I can stop in midair.
Hold the line.
Moment of birth.
Coming at ya. Coming at ya. Cha. Ah.
Rest in pieces. And I think that may be all I can do. La la la. Oh, I did not do that one fast enough. And yeah, too early for that one. But I think it's not too bad that I don't show off all of this. I do want to do this one fast enough though. What was it? Was it one of the fights or one of the races? Domu Adara. Ah, it's the cabbage one. Did not cabbage fast enough. By how much? Not cabbage fast enough. By 17 seconds? 7TC17? Cabbage me up then. See, that's how I waste time there.
My apologies. A proper send-off. Rest and rebuild. Coming at ya. Ha-ha. Cha.
Cabbage never cooperates. It did this time.
Hold the line. Watch out. A proper send-off. I'm coming at ya.
Kami-sato art. Sumetsu.
Coming to be. Yeah. Ha. Ha. Burst forth.
Give me one golden cabbage, please. Thank you very much.
Rest and rebuild. Hey there.
Much better. Well, that was very quick. Even if I could do everything, that would have been quite easily done in time.
Ad Astra Abyssosque.
Add extra
Thank you for
applesauce.
complete.
Okay, one more thing. Possibly, maybe. If I can find it. Fontaine Fishing Association. I found it. Just because I mentioned it. De la Roche, the Fontaine Angler. This is just a test of my patience. As the director of the Fishing Association, I must remain by my post here at the fishing point. I shall defeat these line breakers with my unbending will. You might get struck by lightning. Never mind that for now. I'd like to purchase some fishing supplies. Oh, sure, of course. Take your pick. The Fleuve Cendre Ferryman. A handy length of abandoned copper pipe that was once used as a weapon. It was famous, or infamous, depending in some circles. It is a sword, and it is quite good. Increases elemental skill crit rate by 8%, additional increase energy recharge by 16% for 5 seconds after using an elemental skill. You can hit people with a pipe if you so wish. But you need, if you wish, trade for fish. I don't think that's a fish. I really don't know how fishing works. So I will not get into it right now. Fact is, I don't have any bait. Do you sell bait? Surely you sell bait. That's refinement material. Possibly for the... yeah, Fleuve Cedra Ferryman. Not only can it prevent oxidation, the erosion, by forming an isolation layer on certain materials, but it also helps lubricate, clean and polish. It was once all the rage in Fontaine. In the advertisements back then, a legendary figure from the Fleuve Center also used it to maintain famous curved copper tube. Fishing line stabilizer. You do not have bait, do you? Formula, sour bait. Oh, right. We need to actually... flashing maintenance mech bait. We need to actually make our bait ourselves. She has a bait blueprint. Yes, exactly. With which we then go to the alchemy lab.
Finally, the rain has stopped.
Where we learn them. Then we can make bait. If we have the correct materials for them. Which we do. 120 of those, please. 4 of those only. Because I do not have any iron tracks, which is a shame, to be honest. Oh, but it is 10 per, so more than enough. Navia, you wanted to fish, so fish. Does neither of you like this bait? You sure do not seem interested. How about the other one? Obviously, the mechanical fish would be interested in the mechanical fish thingy.
Steady now. It's the final stretch. What is it? What is it? Is it another Paimon?
No, Paimon. There is only one of you. So these guys not interested in this kind of bait and not interested in the other kind of bait. So possibly interested in some old bait. That I do not have right now. Incredibly, how did you hook a fish that quickly? That line breaker you defeated looks pretty powerful too. Defeated a line breaker? Paimon doesn't really get what you are saying. The experts at the Fishing Association say that fishing is like dueling. Fishers use their rods, line, and bait as weapons, and they wrestle against the might of the fish that swim beneath the waves. Those great lunkers called line breakers, hence line breaking for short. Calling it that sounds really strange. It's just fishing, right? There's nothing too special about it. Unless we are talking about like those supermassive fish, the ones that can't possibly be landed. No, sorry for making you feel so confused. It must be a problem with the way I explained it. Yes, the problem lies with me. Even though I'm the director of the Fontaine Fishing Association, I've never managed to catch even a single fish. So when I watched you hook one without any difficulty at all, I was especially shocked. Director, that sounds like a pretty important position. But you said you've never caught a fish before. Then how did you manage to become the director? Because she's the only fisher in Fontaine. Oh, that has nothing to do with fishing itself. It's just that everyone holds the equipment I provide in high regard. I used to be an ordinary clerk at the Fontaine Research Institute. I was in charge of purchasing equipment and negotiating prices with vendors, but most of the time I was just waiting for a response from them. All I could do was wander around the streets in search of something to do while waiting for them to get back to me. Felt like I was wasting my life, and I just couldn't take it anymore. Wasting your life, and you couldn't take it. You don't have to do anything, and people will still think you are hard at work. Why would you be upset about that? Paimon doesn't get it. I wouldn't mind a job like that. Thankfully, I met my new friends at the Fishing Association and he introduced me to the fun of fishing. After getting hooked, mind the pun, on this hobby, my life took on a whole new direction. To repay them, I provided them with lots of equipment sitting around unused by the Institute. using the kits I gave them. The members of the association started getting quite a few more bites on their hooks. They credited me for all of their newfound success. Since I was familiar with the process of interacting with vendors and had an excess of free time, everyone elected me as director. But even though I'm now partially in charge of the fishing association, I've still never caught any fish, not even a fry as big as my finger. I can't help but feel like I'm not doing my job. You aren't. Maybe you are just super unlucky. Maybe the fish are like you, wandering off for a swim instead of doing their job and sticking around near the hook. But we caught some fish just now, which means the fishes are back at their post and doing their jobs. Why don't you give it another shot right now? That sounds like a good idea. I'll give it another shot. Concentrate a bit. Paimon thinks that Deloroche is pretty honest. She even told us stuff like how she's skipping out on work and fishing on a job without any hesitation. But now that Paimon thinks about it, is it really possible for someone to fish for months and never get a bite? Just what's going on here? Lightning is going on. If Deloroche doesn't manage to catch a fish and loses her, lightning has gone. Or if people start doubting her and she gets replaced as the director of the fishing association, maybe the new person won't be nearly as easy to get along with. Whoa, you are actually anticipating potential risks. So you agree with Paimon, then we should help her and make sure she catches at least one fish and doesn't give up on the job. Nothing looks wrong with Deloroche's fishing pole and she really focused and not fidgeting at all. Maybe the problem's underwater, something about her bait. Let's check out the hook and bait she's using. That's it. No bait. Same as Navia. Deloroche's hook doesn't have any bait on it at all. Even a layman knows that fishing requires bait. How can you catch a fish with just an empty hook? I think Fontanians are just bad at this. Maybe because they are fish themselves, they don't really want to fish subconsciously. If we ask Deloroche directly, it might seem like we are insulting her intelligence. It might be a bit too rude. Let's start by asking her about the type of bait she likes. Good idea. Let's try to be more tactful this time. Let's think of it as practice for dealing with any well-intentioned but very confused people we might run into in the future. But we already dove down here to check her hook. Leaving it completely bare like this is kind of a shame. Maybe there's something more we can do. Let's put a fish on it. Let's hold a fish's head down until it bites the hook. Whoa, that's pretty direct. It doesn't sound like a good idea though. As long as it can cheer Deloroche up and help her understand the importance of bait, then all will be well. Let's do it. What kind of fish should we put on the hook? Best something that doesn't swim around here, so it is even more surprising that she got one. Ha 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 ha! I really caught a fish, you two were right. It's enough. We are scamming her. A mushroom, yes! That would have been great. Patience, patience. This is just a test of patience. Did you catch a fish? Congratulations. I thought you two left. Thankfully, you didn't miss out on this momentous moment. I have incredible, wondrous news for you. Just now I finally caught a huge fish. It was tiny. This fish's physique and weight are beyond compare. My friends at the association will be agog when they see it. It's all thanks to your advice. As of today, I have finally ceased to be fishless. I must sincerely express my deepest gratitude to you both. Congratulations. We just wanna ask, why don't you usually use bait? Paimon means, what is your favorite kind of bait to use? Paimon, you messed up so badly. Ow. Huh? What are you suddenly asking about that? I'm not that proficient with bait types, really. I only heard an older anglers say, the more the bait diffuses, the more fish it can attract. So I supplemented the most popular bait formulas with a substance. It dissolves them more easily in the water. Ah, dissolved in the water. Like everything. Hold on, does this mean that overly soft bait will lose out to line breakers in battles? Is that why I never managed to catch any fish before? It didn't lose to the fish. It just completely dissolved. Oh, so it's not that she didn't use bait, but the bait she used completely disintegrated? If it's just turned into soup in the water, then why would the fish ever bite the hook? I think I understand. I finally understand. You have granted me the essential epiphany. Please accept my sincerest thanks. Have this pipe free of charge. Of course, this meager reward isn't enough. Once I become a master angler renowned throughout Fontaine, you will be known as my distinguished mentors. Such a title will be priceless. Next, I'm going to alter the composition of my bait. I'll make it sturdier, and then I'll beat the strongest of the line breakers with but a few tugs. That's not exactly how it's supposed to work. But at least Delaroche knows not to use bait that easily dissolves. Things turned out okay, right? Paimon hopes everything will go as smoothly as Delaroche imagines. And we got 20 gacha material. And a lot of Mora. Didn't expect that to turn into a quest of some sorts. But look at that big fish I have, Delaroche. Surely you can't catch anything that big. Okay. That's every distraction that has amassed during today's stream. That could have prevented us from doing Navia's story in another world. So, thanks Navia for finally having your story be told to us. And next time, don't know. I think it's gonna be a new version of the game. So probably a new character's story.
I really want to go traveling. I don't mind where we go, as long as I have my friends with me.
Yeah. Going to see more friends. Possibly even one of Navia's friends we have met. See you then. Next time. On fishing in Genshin Impact.